Hello, folks. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about financial decisions in general, right? And how I try to analyze some of my financial decisions and how you can actually learn from them, and also uh, think more on that and like extend and expand from it, and put it to your use cases and like your situations in life, situations and whatnot, and understand how you can make your own financial decisions, right? This is especially with respect to like buying things, but in general also, right? Let me give you some examples of like what are some tricky decisions when it comes to financial decisions when coming like when you see buying things, right? For example, yesterday I saw this ad by Samsung to buy the Samsung Galaxy S23, which has Samsung Galaxy AI and all. So I have a Samsung as of now, and it's been pretty good. Because other phones, I've noticed that they actually have ads and whatnot on your lock screen, and you can't even like disable them, and it was annoying. So I think they reduced the cost of the phone and instead put ads so that they can get money from ads, I guess. So they don't even mention this in the when you buy the phone. So for example, Redmi and all, I've noticed this. Or even for costly phones, I've got phones for 20K and I've noticed ads on it. It was pretty annoying. So I got the Poco phone long ago. This was in 2019, I think. And for my mom, and it had ads, and I was like very pissed off. Anyways, so when you actually buy a phone or whatever, you need to understand what are you paying for, and sometimes the companies you need to trust them, and for example, in this case, like Redmi, the MI company, they started putting ads on a 20K phone. If they had just asked me to pay a bit more and said this phone has ads, this phone doesn't have ads. This is similar to, I think in US you have contract phones wherein you can actually buy a phone for less money if you say that you will actually use this particular network mobile operator, say AT&T and whatnot. And if you don't want that contract, then it's a bit more costlier, I think, when you want to choose it yourself after buying the phone and whatnot. Something like that. I don't know too much, but so similar to that, I think here they should put clearly that there are ads in this phone and that it's cheaper in this variant. In this phone, there are no ads and whatnot. And at least they should mention it. I don't remember it mentioning anywhere that there are ads in the phone in the lock screen and all that. So it's a bullshit concept that I hated, because it was my mom's phone and she was just getting unnecessary things on her lock screen, advertisements and whatnot, and you click something, it will take you to the browser and go to that ad, I think, and all that. And it's very distracting also, new ad every few minutes or whatever. And you can't even like, it's distracting you in the sense that it's also hindering the other view, like you have notifications coming in and then behind the scenes there is ad, so it's like annoying. Anyways, I got a Samsung, and like in this Samsung, of course there are no ads and all, but it's a costlier phone, of course. um, and so this Samsung Galaxy S23, it's a newer version of the phone, and I was like, this is nice, but of course costly phone. There is Galaxy AI, and I was checking out the features. Is it even worth it? It's not. I don't think it's worth it, for, at least for me. It talks about how you can search things. Say if you circle over a photo, it'll automatically do a Google search. I mean, you can use Google Lens for that, and then it'll automatically translate your calls. If you're talking to someone in a different language and whatnot. But I rarely do that, and I think Google or someone else will just come in and do this themselves. And similar some small features, right? So I think I'm not going to use Galaxy AI, so it's not worth it to just pay for S23, and it's pretty costly also. I mean, but I think some 55K or something, or 75K something, I don't know. But the offer amount is now 40K, I think. 35K and 40K, there are two variants, 128GB, 256GB. So I was just looking at it. Interestingly, you see, when you buy a phone, you're not just buying the phone, so you're just buying a lot of features in it, of course. So the camera, is it worth it and whatnot. So what is important for you? You look at all that, right? And there's like a lot of choices in phones. That itself is a very crazy thing. When you make a financial decision, when you have too many choices, it can actually put you in a sometimes in a analysis paralysis. We'll talk about problem of choice in a separate video maybe, but in financial decisions also it comes up, of course. You have too many choices and whatnot. But once you've decided, say this is the phone I'm going to buy, so you have to look at other things also. For example, say maintenance. In general, when you buy something, you have to look at maintenance. Say a car, a bike, a phone, and whatnot. How are you going to maintain it? Because if you buy a car and just don't ride it much, then it can have problems. And same for bike. For example, I got my motorcycle a long ago, and I think when I moved out of Chennai, I still haven't got my motorcycle over here, and it's just gathering dust in Chennai, and it's been like 2-3 months now. It's just a lot of dust. I don't know if it'll even work. I'll have to probably service it and whatnot. So you'll have to understand how you're going to maintain it and say clean it, service it and whatnot. What are you going to buy, right? Say a washing machine or whatever, or TV. Some things it just stays and just is there. Some items, some services and whatnot. Some things you need some sort of like maintenance or something to check. So yeah, in case of phone, how are you going to maintain it in the sense that how are you going to ensure that it's not going to break. So you need to ensure that you have a screen guard, so a screen protection, and then you have to, in general, you have to have some protection for your phone, like the back cover, so that the back doesn't break and whatnot. If you're getting an iPhone especially, you have to get all of this. And also look at the ecosystem and the accessories of the phone. For example, in cases of phone, so in phone, like there's like a lot of ecosystem. Like in iPhone, let's say you have the iCloud and whatnot. So if you're gonna store photos, a lot of photos, and there's only so much storage, and you can't say add extra SD card and all that in iPhone, I think, then you'll need more iCloud storage and all that. Or I think you can also use Google Cloud, I don't know, but basically you have to look at the ecosystem and all. How much are you going to pay for that? So I use Android and Samsung, so I pay for Google One. And is it worth it is a question for me. I think it is worth it. The cost of per GB storage is pretty low, and I actually store all of my YouTube videos on there. I'll probably talk about that separately, how I store my videos as of now and what is my plan in the future and why I chose say Google One as of now. It's pretty simple, straightforward. That's the basic answer, and it seems cheap. And yeah, I mean, the other ecosystem part is the accessories. Like in iPhone, like if you want to buy say chargers, the chargers are really costly, right? And same for say something like Mac laptop and whatnot. The Mac keyboard and Mac mouse, like you can use other keyboards also, but if you want to buy the Mac ones only, like Apple ones only, so then it'll be really costly. So look at the ecosystem and accessories, and can you actually use other brand accessories and which are cost efficient for you and worth it for you. And for example, there is also cables and whatnot that you can buy. For Apple, you have to get it the original ones ideally, because that works better and it's more safer for your iPhone, or whatever phone you're using. Getting the original one is safer because you have no idea what the duplicate one looks like or is like. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, or whatever, I don't know. So unless you really saw how it is manufactured or you trust the company that you bought it from, depends. So for example, I got my Samsung charger, the original one. It's actually a 2K charger, 2000 rupees. It doesn't even come with the phone. The phone costs even I think 30K something. That was at discount, and that too after 1 or 2 years after it was launched. I got it at a discount, and it was like fine for me. Sometimes I do wonder it's a very old phone, but then I'm fine for that. But after 30K also, they actually don't give you the charger, like at least the fast charger. They do give a charger, of course, fortunately. A lot of phones these days, they don't even give charger, but The Samsung one, at least that's what I heard. I think they don't give chargers and all, but Samsung, this phone that I got, S20 FE 5G, they gave a charger, but it was not the fast charger. I think it was a 15-watt one. The fast charger is actually 25-watt one, and the 15-watt one charger is good. It's not great. Okay, maybe it's great, but it takes time to charge. And the fast charger one is like really, like, of course the name is really fast, and you can actually see the difference. And even the phone detects the fast charging and shows a different text saying fast charging, and it shows a different loading symbol. For example, in Samsung, it shows a green loading symbol for the 15-watt charger and a bluish loading symbol for the fast charger, and and it charges really, really fast, and it's worth it for me because, like, a lot of times I say, for example, in this case, videos, it takes up a lot of battery, and when I'm uploading videos and whatnot, to YouTube through my phone itself, through Wi-Fi, it takes up a lot of battery. And if I use Strava, apps like Strava, which are actually using GPS, it takes up a lot of battery, and I can't even turn on the battery mode, like, I think it's called, what is it called, power saving mode, the battery power saving mode on, because Strava doesn't work, like the GPS system doesn't work accurately when the power saving mode is on, usually, at least that's what Strava says. So I have to turn it off, then generally battery usage will be more. So and I don't know, for some reason the phone battery just sometimes goes off really fast, sometimes it just stays on really good. So anyways, a fast charger helps me a lot, so spending 2k on that seemed worth it for me. So of course it is 2k, it was quite some money, but I was like, see, 2k, you have to start comparing how much you spend on other things, and then understand, well, maybe this is okay. Like, for example, some things, for example, food is worth it, of course, but say you got junk food, for example, it's not really exactly worth it, at least in my view, for me. So let's say I got some, say, pizza for like 500-600 bucks. You eat it, and then the next day you poop it out or whatever, or puke it out, I don't know, it just comes out of your system. So finally it's just 600 rupees or whatever, or 1000 rupees. There are bigger pizzas and whatnot, you get it, whatever, and then or costly pizzas, smaller pizzas and whatnot. Same for desserts and whatnot, cakes and whatnot, pastries and stuff. So it doesn't have much nutrients, sugar, and you ate it and you pooped it out. It's like a temporary thing, it doesn't stay for long, the feeling, the experience and all doesn't stay for long and all, and you spend 600,000 rupees for that. And then this charger, it will stay for long, like 2000 rupees, yes, but it's gonna stay for long, like at least for months, unless I break it or something, and it's not gonna break easily. And it's also composable, right? Very great thing. Most chargers these days are composable. Like, the adapter is the thing that gives the fast charging, and I think the cable has to support it too. Like, it has to have good, I don't know, good wires in it and all that, which can support sending in like enough electricity voltage. I don't know what concepts much, but so it has the input output and all on the adapter, and that's what causes the fast charging, I believe. So, like, even if the cable goes off, I can get rid of the cable and buy a new cable. The Samsung shop allows you to buy the cable separately and the adapter separately, and I think I got it together at for 2k, 2.5 something k, but you can get the cable separately. So maybe the cable can break or can whatever it happens, but in my case I use it really well, so it doesn't happen. But this 2k, even if the cable is gone, I can use this, and I think this can just stay on, live on for like years easily if I maintain it properly, right? And you spend on food and whatnot, like, and it's temporary, and like temporary in the sense that the feeling, and you just poop it out and whatnot. You don't, in junk food, there's no nutrients also. So then compared to that 2K, I'm like, well, it's worth it, it's fine. So and it gives me faster charging, so yeah, why not? So that's how I actually try to compare things and understand, okay, hey, this financial decision makes sense, right? For example, I got these specs, can't remember how much, 6K, two pairs of and two specs a pair for 6K, or else I mean it's a buy one get one free from Lenskart, given their gold membership, which is some 1K something. If I don't have that gold membership, and I would have bought the same this one thing for like, I don't know, 5K or same 6K, but just one of them, right? So when you buy the same, I mean, of course, I know that I'm paying $1,000 extra, basically totally 7K or whatever, and getting two, and basically they're trying to sell more and whatnot, and their profit will be dependent on that, I guess. They sold more gold membership or whatever. But thing is, for me, when I look at it, I got two specs, one for 3.5K whatever, and I do need a spare specs usually, because let's say this broke or something happened, then I'll need the other one, so it's fine. And how much time will this specs be valid for and whatnot, like stay for and whatnot? The longevity durability will be say a year or even more, and how many times my power changes, right? Like very rarely, like I think the last time it changed for usually yearly once it might change, but it can change 6 months once also, but mostly yearly ones and very little only. So maybe once a year. So 365 days, 6,365 days. It's like not so much money per day for, like, let's just say, I mean it's 3,500 something. Let's just say it's 3,600 or whatever, or 3,650 even, and per glass. And for 365 days, it's like 10 rupees per day for my glasses. Maybe it's okay. It helps me see well, like, right? I have some higher power and all. I think it's 4 or something, 3.754 something in each of them. Like one of them 4, one of them 3.7. So, and some degrees and the angle and all. So I'll need them. I haven't considered LASIK and all. It has its own pros and cons, and I'm scared to actually do it. But anyways, and it costs a lot, quite a bit. I've been told by some of my friends that it's good. Like some of my friends have done. Like one friend said, "It's great, do it." I considered it. For now, I'm not. Like for example, my eye doctor, who is pretty popular, like he's in Chennai. He's a local clinic guy. The clinic is big, of course. It's called Uma Eye Clinic. Arul Moli Varman, I think, or Arun Moli Varman. So he himself wears specs. So, anyways, so I'm like, my doctor wears spectacles and he doesn't have a LASIK done. So why should I? And of course, contact lens, it has its own pros and cons. Like you can't have dust inside your, like, coming inside your eyes and whatnot, and you can't be near heat, and you can't sleep with it and whatnot. Like, of course you can't. I mean, you don't sleep with your specs, but anyways, but it's possible to by mistake remove, like not remove and sleep anyway. So you have to think about your financial decisions, and like LASIK is costly and all. I was like, okay, maybe not now. But 10 rupees per day for my specs, I was like, it helps me see well, so why not? It has its own pros and cons. For example, it can be a bit like a thing. Say I'm running with my specs, it can be a bit of a thing. Like if I sweat, and if I sweat like this and it comes in here, I have to like ensure that it doesn't blur my vision. And if I use my, say this, like say a t-shirt, clothes or whatever to clean it up, if it has any dust particles, that can scratch the glass and it can hinder the vision, especially if it's in the center of the glass. But other sides also, like I won't look like this, I'll probably look like this than looking like this and using this part of the glass. But anyways, it can hinder the vision, then I'll have to probably change the glass and whatnot, or use the spare and all that. But 10 rupees or whatever per day for my glasses, I was like, it's fine, it's okay, it's not so much money, it's okay, right? Though before I've thought like, wow, 6K, that's a lot. It is a lot, yes, but when you look at a per day basis and the worth it gives you, maybe it's fine. Yeah. And then like for phones, apart from things like accessories, like for example, even this has accessories like liquid to clean the thing and all. And I have gotten the liquid, but I hardly used it, unfortunately. But there are liquids to clean, and they said you can use it once a week, and that liquid costs $300 or something in Lenskart. So the companies benefit from the accessories, and you also benefit to some extent. And a lot of companies work based on accessories. For example, even Samsung, they would earn a lot based on their accessories, like say chargers, earphones, Bluetooth, different kinds of earphones and whatnot, earbuds and whatnot. And what else? I don't know, stylus and stuff like that for iPad, like not iPads, iPads are for like Apple, but tablets and stuff like that, right? So companies do benefit from accessories, and you also do benefit. Um, but accessories come at a cost, so you have to understand your accessories, right? So apart from accessories, like say for phone, you have your screen protection, the phone protection itself for the back of the phone and all that. Apart from that protection, which is physical items, you need some protection as insurance also. So in general, like for phone, like if something breaks, some things come under general warranty after you buy the phone, but some things don't come under warranty, or um, like and yeah, they don't come under warranty. And if you go to the service center, it costs a lot to buy the parts of the phone, like the display or the motherboard and whatnot. For example, once I actually was going on my two-wheeler, a scooter, and my phone fell off. It was in a mobile holder, and I was looking at the maps and trying to drive through the place, and I didn't drive well. That was a bad decision. It was all bumpy roads, and I was actually going at a speed, I think 40 kilometers per hour or 30 kilometers per hour, and on those bumpy roads, and it just fell down. I thought I had my screen protection on, and then it wasn't there, but I was still assuming that. And then again, I put the phone on my mobile holder, and again I went on a underpass, like under road bridge and whatnot. Again, it fell down, and then a car, two cars or one car ran over it, and then it was totally broken, and I was like, shit. And basically, it was a bad decision that also caused me financial loss. Like, now I have to go fix the phone, right? So, and then later I was told that, hey, there's no screen protection, dude. I was like, shit, I thought I had put it, but I missed it. So, anyways, however, that is not going to really help you with cars running over, I think. I don't know. Something to check out online. Maybe you can go check it out if screen protection can help you with cars running over your phone. And so now I had to change the display, and I was like, phone itself is gone because car ran over it. It should be crushed. But fortunately, only the display was gone, and but the display was 10K. That was like one third of the phone's cost. The phone was 30K, and I was like, okay. So I basically I'm holding a phone that costed me 40K and not 30K because I actually broke it once, and but I had warranty, but that didn't help because this kind of stuff, of course, no. But the thing is this, right? Some companies actually provide you parts for a cheaper cost if you have some sort of like protection insurance and all that. And some insurance protects you from all the costs and whatnot for say once a year service, or twice a year service, twice a year, or once a year service for 2 years and all that. So, but then that insurance costs money, of course. Like, for example, yesterday this Samsung S23 FE thing, it costed 40K for one of the variants, but then for the Care, Samsung Care plus something, it costed 10K for 2 years. I think it's the worth it one, or like ideally supposed to be the worth it one. Of course, you might not see the worth. I also might not. But if you think about it, if you're buying that costly a phone, and it's better to get these insurances, and that's how the company also earns, and you also get a better protection. But of course, only if it breaks or something happens, it's used, or else it's gone. But it's basically part of your phone's cost. So now, when you make a decision to buy a phone, you have to look at the insurance money also, official insurance, and you usually can buy insurance only when you buy the phone. That's pretty annoying. but that's the case usually. You can't buy it later, even if it's a third party insurance like ACO, ACKO, and all that. And then there is for lesser cost also, but you have to buy that to ensure that you're protected from all these problems, because phones these days and electrical devices, electrical appliances, all of them are made a bit sensitive. I think it's intentional, I don't know. And there's also one important feature that comes with it, because when you make it sensitive or like lightweight and whatnot, it is easier to carry. For example, a phone or a tablet or a iPad and whatnot, or Kindle, your ebook readers and whatnot. When they are made lightweight, they're sensitive, they're made lightweight. It's easy to break them, of course, but it's also easy to carry them. They're very less lightweight. But then, of course, if you put your screen protection, the back guard protection, and whatnot, it'll become a bit heavier depending on your the kind of protection that you've put. But it's to protect your device. And some people prefer to not put the screen guard protection or the back guard protection and all that. So, but they make it to ensure it's light, and it also helps them with their the whole idea of like it's sensitive, so if you break it you have to come to us for service, and the service costs really high. And the parts are pretty small, so when it's a small parts, they are costly, because smaller parts are costly in general because they require less space to store. Nanotechnology and all is of course costlier than your normal things, so similar to that, chips and whatnot are smaller. So even for laptops versus desktops, the parts of a laptop will be costlier, I think, generally. And desktop, like you can actually easily change the hard disk and whatnot. Laptop, you'll have to open it up. You'll need someone who knows what they're doing to open it up, because it's compact and like small. Desktop, you can do it yourself probably. You just need to open up your the cover of your CPU and look at the motherboard and like do some stuff, and you will be able to change the hard disk drive or solid state drive, SSD and whatnot. So cost you need to understand, but see, the laptops are portable, so it comes at that cost. The parts, the whole thing, the service and whatnot. And desktops are not exactly portable. But people buy desktops because gamers, for example, they can actually customize it a lot, graphics card and whatnot, but they can't they can't just transport it easily. But it's not portable, but it's fine. And they can just get it for a low cost also. But the same configuration laptops are really high cost, and it's not easy to modify them and all that. So when you make a financial decision, you have to understand the accessories, the serviceability, the maintainability, like how are you going to maintain it, how are you going to service it, is it easy to service, like will you be able to find the support stores nearby and whatnot. And then basically the cost around the service, around the item, right? Say washing machine, TV, whatever. And the same is true for even experiences like for example, I go to marathons, and marathons are costly, man. They are really, really costly. So initially, a year or so ago, if you would ask me, will you go for marathons, paid marathons, I would have been like, no, man, dude, like that's really costly. Now I go, I've started to go, and I'm fine with the cost. Maybe this is my way of like lifestyle. What's it called? Inflation. Yeah, it's kind of like a luxury, but I'm okay with it for some reason, and I'm like, I'll go for it. I want to go for a marathon, but it has its own pros and cons. For example, I went for the TCS World 10K marathon, right? It was so crowded, like I couldn't just run, but I was also pacing really fast. It was unnecessary. If I'm just running at a normal pace or like a average okay pace, it's fine. The crowd is fine, you can go at that pace. But if you're going really, really fast, of course you can't go in that crowd unless you are like really in the front to go fast, and for which you have to prove that you can go fast before itself. Like last year, if you have gone once and you go fast, you will be allowed to stand in front of it in the line, because thousands and thousands of people went, like tens of thousands of people come to some of these marathons, uh, and you have to pay a lot. The pay is actually going for a cause usually, or for the organizing of the event, and then there's t-shirts and medals that they give you, and then they give you goodies, food and whatnot, like energy drinks and stuff like that, bananas, sandwiches, whatever food also they give after the run. And they also have some small sessions before the run, doing some, say, Zumba dance. I don't know why this it's popular, always Zumba dance and whatnot, and then of course stretches and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, marathons cost a lot, like 1K, 2K. I think the maximum I've seen is probably 3K, 4K, whatever. So it's pretty costly per run. Because, for example, if I'm just getting a t-shirt, I'm like, did I just pay 1K for this t-shirt? I could have gotten a better t-shirt also, or I could have just gotten t-shirts elsewhere. But it's not just that, it's also the experience. But I usually don't pay for experiences. Till now, I've not paid so much for experiences, like going for, say, a trek, a paid trek, rather than going on my own. And then, like, I've gone a few times for paid treks and just once on my own. And going for travel, just stuff like that, traveling to places and all that, or say a virtual reality experience or augmented reality experiences, stuff like that. Experiences I have not paid so much, but marathon is an experience, and then you also pay for the t-shirt and stuff like that, and the food, and you get the chance to actually meet people and network. But funnily, I don't network so much. I once went for a conference which I paid for 5K. I didn't network so much at all. It wasn't exactly worth it. I did learn a bit, because some things you can't learn outside of the conference, because they don't put the videos and all online, or they put some videos. Some things, for example, some workshops are only offline. So these days I don't go to paid conferences just like that. I think twice. I'm like, will I learn from it, and will I actually network? I'm not networking yet. I'm gonna plan. I'll probably put a different video on conferences and all. But yeah, I mean, experiences and what you get, opportunities and all. Marathons, you get to meet like-minded people and whatnot, and you also get inspired, I guess. Ideally, you should try to get inspiration from the people who are running. For example, one of the marathons I went, there was a 95-year-old person who came for the marathon, who ran for like some 5K, I think. And there were different categories, 5K, 10K, and he ran for a 5K. So it was pretty cool. And so basically, you go for experiences or to understand how these kind of marathons happen, because I have never experienced them. Till now, I've gone only for like how many? I think just 2 marathons now. One of them was a 5K, another was a 10K, and then another one 5K. 3 of them. I've gone for 3 of them. The TCS World 10K being the biggest one. And yeah, I mean, actually only 2, not 3. Anyways, so yeah, I'm like, okay, so I'm okay with paying some amount of money for marathons. It gives me some opportunities to meet some like-minded people, talk to them and all that. But yeah, I should make use of the opportunity. I'm starting to, I'm planning and all, but I should not stop with planning or analysis paralysis, and instead do more than just plan. But yeah, I did talk to some people in one of the marathons in TCS World 10 day. Not really, I was just simply pacing forward. But I did notice a lot of good things, great things. I learned a lot. And it was a good experience to understand how something looks like that. So yeah, and then of course I do try to understand luxury and all. So this marathon was a mix of luxury and health. Like when I run a 10K, it's good for my health, and it also helps me understand my capabilities, my limits, and I try to push my limits, and I also work towards it and whatnot. Something to work towards, to look forward to, and all that. And it's just fun for some reason. I'm just addicted to it. I think marathons and like running. But yeah, I mean, and I also want to be really fit for my running. I'm still working on my health and all that. So it's something to just do. And what else? It just feels great when I actually do something that I feel that I can't probably do, or it's a bit hard and all that. And I also get better at it and all that, right? So when my pace is great and whatnot, or it's like good enough and it's not bad and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I mean, I pay for marathons and all that, but it is costly, so it's a bit of a luxury also. And what comes around it, right? So in terms of like mobiles, there is accessories, there is services like insurance, and then there is maintenance and all that. In terms of marathons, I would like to go to almost every marathon. Funnily, I mean, if and when I can do it. Funnily, I'm in Bangalore. Enough marathons happen in Bangalore, of course, but marathons happen all over India, right? So, for example, there is this HRX marathon that happens every month, at least once or twice in every other place. In Bangalore, I think it's going to be happening only in the year end or something. I think November, December, I can't remember what, like October, I can't remember when. But it's happening in many other places now, in other cities and all that. Every month, once or twice, it's happening. Some weekend. So weekends I can actually do, but the problem is going to the city, right? Say Pune or somewhere as far as Guwahati, West Bengal, and all that. The problem is transportation. Now I have to pay for transportation. The marathon costs, let's say 2k, I think 2.5k, whatever. That itself is very costly. Now I have to go to the place. Now going to places like Delhi and whatnot, like really far off places, or even somewhere close by like Maharashtra, the Pune and all that, Mumbai and all, it is a bit costly. Like going by train, a bit costly, and it's possible um, for nearby places, trains, like if it's a 6 hour travel or maybe 12 hour and whatnot, like 12 hours is also a lot. 6 hours, it's an overnight journey, 9 hours overnight journey, okay. 12 hours also to some extent overnight, like night 8 p.m. you go start, morning 8 a.m. you go, or night evening 4 p.m., morning 5 4 a.m., depending on the train. There should be a train first of all. There will be usually. Trains also cost a bit, and it's quite a journey. And then sometimes it's just like 15 20 hours, more than a day, 1 day journey, then more than 24 hours, then it's like damn shit, like now I can't travel so much. Then I'll have to look at flights, and flights are really costly sometimes. I looked at some of the flight costs, especially when you want to book close to the flight, the journey date and time. It's pretty costly. Even the airlines that say they are low cost, it's pretty costly. And Of course, the other ones are going to be more costly. And I was talking about this to one of my friends. Like sometimes it's really costly, but apparently flights are to some extent cheap for far distances. For example, apparently from here to Amritsar, I noticed that you can go for like 7k and all, though 6k 7k and all, the usual cost. But I noticed sometimes that in Google flights, say 0 stops, you want to go to some place really far off, the usual prices are still high, even if it's not like say very popular season, say festive season or a holiday season or general travel season, tourism season and whatnot, or it's a holiday for everyone, like say some public holiday and whatnot. So generally also sometimes the costs are really high. So now I have to look at paying for the marathon, say 5k whatever, not 5k, like marathon costs like say 2k 3k max, 2.5k whatever, along with taxes and all. They have taxes and all that for that, because it's online paid, and service fee, so they'll a convenience fee they'll have, and then they'll put tax on that also. So 2k 2.5k, and then now I have to pay so much money for the travel, and it's not just one way. I have to come back also to Bangalore. So and I have to do this over a weekend. It's not easy because by train, if it's like say 15 hour 12 hour and all, it's going to be tricky because I want to come back soon, and I want to come back, say I want to leave on a Friday, and then go there on a Saturday morning, and then come back, start off on a Saturday night, and then come back on Sunday, so that I can actually relax on Sunday, and go to work on Monday, because I don't want to come Monday morning and then be tired, or it's just annoying to just finishing a travel and then directly go into office and all that. So, but then it's not easy, not always possible with many cities, with trains and all. So you have to find a good suitable train, and it has to be low time, like overnight train. And also I realized that if I go to a place, the marathons are usually in the mornings, right? Say 5:30, 6 and all that. If it's at 8 and all, it's like sunny, and ideally they shouldn't have it. For example, TCS World 10K had it, and like, bad idea. Anyways, they had to do it, I think, organizing and logistical issues. They had another run in the morning and all that. Anyways, different story. But yeah, I mean, then mornings, then I have to be there in the morning. So overnight train, I have to be there, and I have to travel to the location, the venue of the marathon, and then start of the marathon. And I need some rest from the travel, like a bit at least. Hopefully, I have slept well and eaten well and whatnot the previous day, and the previous night. And also after the marathon, I'll be a bit tired. Again, traveling and coming back, but all of that also has to be considered, right? So as like, then I'll have to choose flights, and flights are really costly. So now you have a 2.5k rupees marathon, and then you pay a lot more for the travel. Is it worth it? Is what you have to answer. For example, I've seen people who go for cricket matches, um, which will have some ticket cost and all, depending on if you got a legal ticket, which is probably cheaper, or illegal ticket from someone and all, it's probably more costlier. IPL or one day matches, test matches, and whatnot. And it happens at a particular place. Usually, you will go if it's in India, or if it's outside, also people will go and all. You'll have to book the travel tickets for that also. So people do pay. For example, I remember one of my friends, he went to Delhi from Chennai, and saw a cricket match and then came back. He even met some of the cricketers. I believe he went for the experience, and he loves cricket, and he plays a lot of cricket. So and he also of course met his friends and all there who live there and all. So is it worth it? A financial decision is what you have to explain and think about. And every decision comes with its own like cost around it and all, and it's not just the cost of the thing. Like, even for conferences, if I'm going for a conference, let's say I was in Chennai before, and I came for a conference in Bangalore back then. This was last year, and the conference itself was 5k, and then I have to travel, so I have to pay for that. And even for marathons, same thing, right? And then the other thing is, there is also stay accommodation, so you have to pay for accommodation also. And hotels are not cheap always. Usually, most times it's costly. For a day, it's at least 1k, of course, even the worst ones. 500 is like you are basically probably in a hostel or something, backpack hostel. But 1k, very, of course it'll happen. And 1.5k, 2k, very easily. Usually it'll be 2k, at least 2.5k, and worst case scenario it'll be more, like 3k, 4.5k, depends, for a day, and the kind of hotel that you get into, and the comfort factor you need and convenience you need. So if I have to go for a marathon in a different city, you have to pay for the marathon, and I have to, maybe I'll tell it as I get to pay for marathon. I have the money, and I get the opportunity to go for a marathon. But then for flight and whatnot, and really costly, I will just say I have to pay. For going to the marathon, I have to pay for the say travel, the flight or train, and I have to pay for the accommodation. Um, Same thing for say cricket matches or whatever. Unless you have someone over in the other city and who is ready to host you, you're gonna have to pay for all this accommodation on. If it's pretty close by, you can also go by car and all that if you're ready to drive, or someone is ready to drive you and all that. I for unfortunately don't have friends who would actually help me a lot and all that, with respect to say, hey, let's go for this drive, or I'll host you and whatnot. I don't have any friends like that at that level. I do have friends who will just do small favors, of course, and I also don't ask for favors or help. So I generally am the kind of guy who will just try to be self-sufficient as much as possible. Though I'm not some self-made man and all, of course, I've got help from many people, but transactionally, just yeah, so very rarely as a favor and all. Unless it's like family and all that. So yeah, I mean, you'll have to pay a lot when you have to do some things and you make some financial decisions, right? So in this case, marathon, you'll have to pay for the marathon and the travel and the accommodation. Say cricket match, some other city, marathon, some other city, some concert, some other city, concert money, travel money, accommodation money, and of course the food over there. I mean, let's say you live in your house now and you have a cook and all, you get the food easily, but then you go to some other place, you'll have to pay for the food and all. But food cost might not be that high, but anyways. So you when you make a financial decision, you have to look at the costs surrounding it also, the ecosystem and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, for example, yesterday there was an event in Bangalore itself. A friend was saying, we were all talking how the event was free and all, and then free food and all that. We'll talk about free food in a separate video, and how free stuff generally is not a great idea in some cases, or in probably many cases also. Though we all love free, free is not always free. Anyways, I'm sure you know that. Anyways, or offers is not exactly offers always. You pay some cost to it. Anyways, so then and then one of my colleagues' friend was like, we do have to go to the place, and that's not free, and it also takes a lot of time. So he was talking about cabs, and like we have to if we are going as a group, we can take a cab. The cab will be costly, but if we go as a group, it will be cheaper. Or autos, of course, again costly. Or use a mix of say metro and bus. That's what I was planning, but I didn't go for the event. Different story. Um, so of course you have to understand that also. Financial decisions, you might have to pay more cost in terms of money or time. For example, if I'm going to go by say metro and bus, like train and bus, it'll take more time, low cost in terms of like money, but more cost in terms of time. So if I value my time, or if I don't have the time, I'll have to choose something else and I have to pay more in terms of money then. And for attending the conference, I'm choosing to actually go for a free conference, but I'll have to pay money for the travel, or in terms of time, a lot of money for the travel and low time, or more time and pay in terms of time to travel, and pay less for the travel itself and stuff like that. So when you make choices, you do have some surrounding stuff for the travel and stuff like that, or accessories and stuff like that and things, right? Same is true for bike and all, like, or car covers. You'll buy car cushions, or most cars, I think they don't come with airbags and all. You have to pay separate money. So everything that you buy and you pay for usually has some surrounding cost. For example, I remember going for a a trip, which was a 1 week trip. But the trip and it was a Himachal trip. So going to Kasol, Khir Ganga, and Manali. But the trip started only in Delhi, and I was in Chennai. So I have to now book a ticket from Chennai to Delhi. That itself costed a lot of money. I think it costed a round trip was like some 16K something. Um, and then the trip itself costed some amount of money. I can't remember how much. Again, 16K. It was pretty costly. It was a 1 week trip though. It was a guided trip and all, of course. I didn't go on my own, but of course the next time I think I can go on my own. Now I know a bit of what to do, what not to do, places to look at. So I went with my friend and all. So I have to now pay the surrounding costs. Like the trip cost didn't include, of course, going from Chennai to Delhi. The idea is the trip cost includes just starting from Delhi and then going to Himachal through bus. Funnily, I went to Delhi in just a few say 1 hour some minutes. But then from Delhi to Himachal, I went in a overnight bus travel for 12 hours something. Though there is an airport near Himachal itself, but this guided trip started in Delhi only, so I went to Delhi. Anyways, it was a funny thing, but yeah, now you see the decision, right? Like, I want to go to Himachal. Of course, I'll have to go to Himachal and travel there. So I need to travel there, and the trip starts only from Delhi. I'll have to go to Delhi, of course, and then start from there. So I need to pay for that now, of course. So here it's kind of like an obvious decision. Going to Himachal, you need to pay for the travel from Chennai to say Himachal if you're in Chennai. So, but in other cases like marathon, you want to go for marathon, okay, you decided, but then where is it? And you have to think about that. If it's some other city, you have to travel in a go into a hotel, stay and all that. And similar stuff. And even in terms of food, there is financial cost. For example, you eat junk food and whatnot. What you're paying for the junk food, and you're also actually creating a debt for yourself probably in the future if you start eating more and more junk food for your future medical bills, and also probably pay more insurance money, say medical insurance, and if you have dependents, probably pay more term insurance money so that your dependents get more money in case something bad happens. I hope it doesn't, but God forbid something happens. But basically, whenever you eat junk food, you're creating a debt for yourself. And then of course there are other financial decisions. For example, funnily the other day I remember seeing someone using a vending machine and it didn't work. They didn't get their ice cream. Good thing is, it's I mean, for me ice cream is not great thing, and also it's sugar, so I'll be like, it's good that you didn't get your sugar food or you didn't get your ice cream. It's good for your health. Though you paid for it and all, it's good that the vending machine didn't work. Though the person will be pissed off that the vending machine didn't work, they were actually talking to the support. So they probably paid for the ice cream using the vending machine's QR code and all. It showed in the screen that it has some sort of tablet in it, and it helps you order and all, and then the vending machine works. So he paid for it probably in a few minutes, like say 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and but then he probably spent a lot more time standing near the vending machine and talking to the support, trying to understand how he can get the ice cream or the money back or whatever refund. Funny, because now you just spend some few amounts of work, but then you spend a lot of time trying to talk to the support. I also have a similar case. I still haven't spoken much to the support, but I ordered some peanuts on Amazon for some $150 or something. I still haven't gotten it, but then if I go ahead and like talk to the support, it'll take a lot of time to just explain to them. I already explained once. I just spent too much time. I was like, this is $150 and I'm spending so much time on like, thinking about this and talking to them, spending my time thinking about this, my headspace and my time in terms of like action. Like I'm taking some action and like doing something for so much time for some $150 to either get the peanuts or get the refund and all that. And it's literally peanuts. Money is literally just peanuts, and but for the time you spend on it, like, so same for like say things like credit cards, right? So I actually remember that I wanted to do peer-to-peer lending. It's a very very bad idea for me, at least. I don't know about others. I wanted to use this peer-to-peer lending platform called CredMint, I think, by the company Cred. Apparently to use it you have to have a credit card. So I was like, okay, let's get a credit card. So I got multiple of them. I think I got HDFC one, and then IDFC. I even created an account in IDFC and got the credit card, and then I gave it back, fortunately, because I heard one thing about credit cards. They can actually put some hidden charges. I wasn't planning on using the credit cards, but then they can just simply put some charge, and then I'll have to go talk to the support and be like, dude, like, why did you put this hidden charge and whatnot? I'll have to first of all look at the bill, right? Like, ideally I should get zero bill, if it's a lifetime free credit card, and but in some cases I think you have to of course spend some amount of money to not be charged. In some cases there was no spend at all needed, I think. But anyways, if it's a lifetime free credit card, ideally I shouldn't have any charges. But then if they put some hidden charge, I think that's what cred helps with, apart from many other things. But apparently they read your emails. Someone told me that. I was like, ooh. Then you'll have to be really careful because they read your emails, and emails are where everything comes up. Like some OTPs and also come up in my email. Many information is there in my email. What services I use and whatnot. But if you're not ready, if you're not comfortable, not a great idea. But anyways, credit helps with finding out hidden charges and all. But then see, the thing is, if I get hidden charges, I got a credit card which I don't need. I just got it to enter the credit platform so that I can use Credit and lend money. I later fortunately decided to not lend money because I learned that peer-to-peer lending is not exactly organized as of now and doesn't have much rules around it, and that the platform is not responsible in case the person got the money doesn't return it back. So your principal amount itself is at risk, at a very high risk, not like some low risk. Of course, in investment, principal amount coming under risk is like simple and easy, and happens even in like when you invest in stock, mutual funds, and all, or many other things like say real estate, whatever. I mean, real estate depends, but anyways, different story another day. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get this. So I got a credit card which I don't plan on using. So which I don't need it to use it, at least just to get into the credit platform, and I got rid of it. But so the other thing is, and I wasn't getting into the credit platform, so I stopped that. So do I still need a credit card? No. Am I going to use it? No. So, but I can keep it, yes. But why didn't I keep it? Because there was one problem, right? Like if I keep the credit card, and if I get hidden charges, and if I notice it, hopefully I notice it, and if I don't, I think they'll put interest charges and all for not paying the all these charges, their bills and all. It's a headache, right? Now I'll have to actually talk to the support and be like, why did you put the hidden charge? Can you get rid of it and whatnot? That's gonna take time. So it's for a credit card that I don't plan on using, that I just got for getting into the credit platform, and I decided to not to get. I don't plan on using, and I'm getting hidden charges, and I need to talk to the tech support. Why? I'm not gonna use it. So why am I even spending time on like talking to support and all for this shit? So I was like, okay, great, let's get rid of the credit card. I got rid of it, fortunately, with no issues. It did actually cause problems to my credit score, I think, because I got it and immediately got rid of it and all. Apparently, if you get a credit card, it's better to just keep it for a long time and all that. Something I don't know much about the whole credit score stuff too much. Anyways, I generally advise on like, as much as possible, try not to take credit unless and until you need it. And in my case, I don't need it as of now. And I don't plan on like buying something big like a house or car or whatever. So I don't plan on taking credit like loans and whatnot. And I don't really work on credit like credit cards. Like I don't really use or plan on using credit cards. Like they usually, I think the advantages of using credit card is mainly offers, and then credit score. I think it will help you with it, so that you can get a loan later and all. A lot of people love credit cards and use it really efficiently and all that, but of course there's cons to it, as in like I don't know, like in my view the con is one is this hidden charge, maybe not a big con for some, and then the other thing is like, I don't know, it gives me the habit of like living on credit, which I don't really want to. If I have money, I'll buy it, and if I don't, I'm going to ensure that I have enough money that I can buy that thing, and I'm going to work towards earning more money than trying to actually get credit and then pay the bill later. Some people actually like to pay bills at the end of the month. They use things like simple SIMPL and all that. I've tried it out, but then it has its own problems. For example, there's problems like, say, I remember using this uni card for actually booking this ticket for my flight from Chennai to Delhi for this trip and all, Himachal trip. Then what happened? I think no, not for the Himachal trip. No, some other trip for my dad. And he had to cancel the ticket, and fortunately it was a cancelable ticket. I got a free cancellation ticket, so I paid for that free cancellation part. So I got a lot of the money back. But the thing is this, I used this uni card, which is actually a credit card kind of thing, and the money came back not to me. I paid using the uni card. So the money went from the uni card to the travel company, travel agent, and then to the travel company, say Indigo or whatever. And later the refund came back. Before the refund came back and all, I paid the bill to Unicard. Okay. So the problem was I have paid to Unicard now, the credit money, right? Because I didn't initially pay any money. I just used Unicard's, Uni company's money to pay the whole thing. I got some offer, I think 1% offer Unicard has. And you can pay it in 3 parts or something. Now I don't think they have it, but they had it before. You can pay it in 3 parts, but I paid it completely. Either you can pay it in 3 parts over 3 months or something, or you can pay it completely and you can get 1% offer, 1% cashback or something. So I paid basically, if 15k was the thing, 1.5k you get offer. Like you just have to pay say 13.5k now to uni, like that. If you pay immediately, like in one go instead of 3 parts. So I usually always paid in one go because for me that 1% offer was nice and I was just trying it out. So I just paid it immediately and I got the 1% off. So I paid some amount of money, and funnily I paid the bill. So now I have paid the amount of money from my bank account. Now the refund, I expected it to come to my bank account, right? But it won't because I paid it through uni, so it will come to uni. But then uni is not a bank account; it's a credit card thing, right? So it goes to, I mean, it's not my bank account, like not exactly my own from where I paid the bill, right? It's my virtual some bank, whatever, somewhere the money is there. It goes to uni and it doesn't come to my bank account from where I can use the money. Funnily, it comes as like a wallet kind of money, I think, and I can only use the uni card, the card to actually pay it. So initially I had credit, now I have debit money in Unicard. I was like, shit, man. I had to do a refund and now the money is there. Now I have to use the uni only everywhere, like wherever it's possible to use cards. Mostly it was possible to use anywhere. But and they didn't have UPI at the time, I think, or scanner and all that. I think probably now they do, but they don't have the card stuff or this whole 1% whatever. But anyways, I don't use them at all now. So at the time I was always using UPI and I was like, damn, now I have, if it was my own bank account, okay, I can use UPI, the debit money. But now it's on uni and I have to use the card only, and everywhere I was trying to then use the card, the virtual card on online, and then or just I had the physical card also, so you swipe it off and whatnot, or tap and all. So that was another problem, right? Then I was like, okay, so I'm not going to do this, right? So I'm not going to use credit cards because in refunds it's annoying. And so same for simple, so getting credit and then I pay the bill immediately, but I'm going to get refund, then it goes to them as debit money and I can use it, or it gets deducted from the bill and all. I don't really need all that bullshit stuff, so I really don't go for it, right? I really wanted to talk about this in a separate video, but this got merged into this. Anyways, it's fine. And this became a very big video. Anyways, yeah, I mean, so no credit, no loans, no credit cards and all, and I'm fine with no offers. I'm fine to actually, I'll talk about this in a separate video. I'm fine with no offers, no free and whatnot, and I don't really need airport access lounge, like airport lounge access and all, and stuff like that, or dining out, or rewards and whatnot. I would rather actually earn more money and be more, capable to actually just and be more rich and wealthy to be able to just buy stuff for whatever price is on it, than look for offers. I'd rather optimize my time and this optimize my time on like earning more. I understand that until I earn more, I can actually use these offers, but it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to be a headache in some cases. And I don't want to. I don't like credit. I'm in many ways I'm like averse to credit. A lot of aversion to credit. So credit like in terms of like loan, whatever credit cards, whatever thing. So I don't need offers. I'd rather just buy it without the offer. So I'm fine with it. And I'll work towards earning more money than like looking for an offer. So every financial decision comes with its own cost. So try to understand. It can be a financial cost. It can be a health cost. For example, if you eat junk food, it'll cost you your health and of course your money, like medical bills, insurance bills, and all medical insurance and all that. Like pay for medical insurance and have more medical insurance, and of course your medical bills like for your consultation fees, your medicines and whatnot, and your if you get hospitalized, God forbid, and all that. And of course, it's going to be an annoying life, having bad health and whatnot. So every financial decision or every decision generally comes with its own consequences and cost in terms of money, time, energy, effort, and whatnot. So understand them and be very aware of like the surrounding cost of things, because at face value everything looks very simple, but if you look more, analyze a bit more, you'll understand that you're not just paying for something or you're not just doing one thing. You probably have to be doing a bit more things, and you have to pay for more things, or in terms of money or something else. So yeah, that's all I had for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.